So you've heard of diversity, right? How about neurodiversity? Neurodiversity is all about celebrating different ways of perceiving the world. This means that people's brains work in different ways, and that's a good thing. There are lots of different neurotypes, from being autistic to ADHD, OCD to dyslexic, and many people have a combination of these. There isn't one correct way of processing the world, and our society needs lots of different neurotypes. It's an essential form of human diversity. The idea that there is one normal or healthy type of brain or mind, or one right style of neurocognitive functioning, is no more valid than the idea that there's one normal or right gender, race, or culture. So let's hear from some neurodivergent adults from Sutton schools. You might even recognise a few faces.
Hi, I'm Matthias. I'm a Year 6 class teacher in a primary school. I have ADHD and dyspraxia. Firstly, there is an impact on me, but there's also a lot of positives. For me, I'm able to really empathise with the children that I see on a day-to-day basis, especially those with any neurodivergence. I can understand and empathise as I've been in their situation. I know their needs because I know my needs, and obviously not everyone's is similar, but I've used my experience to help identify and make those small adjustments on the fly for those children's. Obviously dyspraxia, I do have difficulty with my handwriting, so modelling can be a little bit difficult, and my organisation is not the best, but I've made changes in my sort of time in university and in training to adapt to that and help myself be a more sort of proactively organised person, and because of that it makes my life so much easier. So it's just knowing my own needs has really helped me sort of develop as a learner and as a teacher.
Hi, my name's Lizzie Ball and I'm a teacher of English in a secondary school and I'm a year leader. I have been in the role for quite a while now, and I have a diagnosis of ADHD. When I was younger, that meant I was very, very chatty, often getting sent out of the classroom for being talkative. My organisation was horrific and very rarely had homeworks with me. I just wanted to please, though. I was really upset when I made these mistakes and beat myself up a lot. So it's hard, isn't it? It's very tricky. But at the same time, these weaknesses became a strength. Because I desperately wanted to do well, I created a lot of coping mechanisms and strategies and things like that. So essentially now as an adult, I have a lot of tabs open in my brain. I think I kind of lean slightly more towards the hyperactivity element. Lots of tabs, lots going on. It's a very busy brain, like different voices, notes, things happening, like reminders, pictures, tasks, checklists. It's a very busy brain. I've begun medication, which helps slightly to just quieten, make it more succinct, but it is something which is also my strength. I get a lot done, and I have over the years learnt to just do things immediately because I don't want to make a mistake. So I just get it done, do it immediately. So I embrace my my busy brain and my ADHD. Yeah, but it does pose challenges.
Hi, my name is Ciara Randalls and I'm an occupational therapist at Cognus, and I have dyslexia. Dyslexia is when your brain learns and processes words a little bit differently. For me, it can make reading and writing really tiring and a bit challenging. I usually know exactly what I want to say, but sometimes finding the right words can take a little bit longer to get down on paper. When I was at school, I did find parts of learning challenging because of this, but I didn't give up. I found strategies that worked for me and asked for help when I needed it and kept on going. I went on to complete a university degree and I've just finished my master's as well. Dyslexia isn't just about challenges, it also gives me strengths, or as I call them, my superpowers. It means I'm really creative and I'm good at solving problems. I often think in different ways and come up with ideas that other people might not have thought of. I'm good at seeing the bigger picture and thinking outside of the box. So even though some things are trickier for me, dyslexia has also helped me grow, be creative, and achieve things that I'm really proud of.
Hi, my name is Esma Jacob. I am a behavior specialist working with young people in school. I am autistic and ADHD who was late diagnosed. I'm also dyslexic and I was diagnosed when I was younger. And there are some things I struggle with more and some things that are my strength. So the things I struggle with are busy places, noisy places, social events, that it really is struggling for me and it's too much and affects my sensory needs, and sometimes certain tasks, I'm able to focus on certain tasks, especially the theory. The things that I'm really good at is behavior. I'm really spotting and seeing things that others have said to me that they don't see. I'm quite aware of what's happening when it comes to behaviors and communication. I'm also really good at psychology and things about the moons and stars. So those are the things that I really enjoy doing, and those are my interest. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hello, I'm Emlyn Roberts-Harry. I'm the librarian at Wallington County Grammar School, and I have obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD. And one of the ways that my OCD manifests is through obsessive hand washing, because I have intrusive thoughts in my brain that tell me that if I don't wash my hands in a particular way, I'm going to get really badly sick. So I tend to spend quite a lot longer washing my hands than the average person does, and that also means I tend to spend longer doing a lot of other things than the average person does. But what that does mean is that while it might take me longer to get a task done, I tend to do it to a pretty high standard on the whole, because I have that sort of perfectionism bug in my brain. So having OCD is not ideal, it's not particularly fun, but it's also not the be-all and end-all. It doesn't define my life, it's just a part of who I am.
Hi, my name's Miss Adams. I teach at Wallington County Grammar School. I'm subject lead for wellbeing. I also lead on some of the equality, diversity initiatives at school. And I have a diagnosis of ADHD. My ADHD diagnosis is fairly recent. In the last few years, although I've always known that I was different, and I can take it back to primary school and sitting on the outskirts of like playtime and watching all of the other children seem to just effortlessly make friends and communicate and understand all of the expectations of, you know, how to sort of behave in a playground and resolve conflict easily. And when I had my diagnosis, I was able to really reevaluate everything that I thought was my fault. And it was freeing and liberating to realise that it was something that I was struggling with because I was overwhelmed and I was struggling to read people's social cues. And in terms of managing well at school, I could have done a lot better if all of my amazing creative energy, which is definitely one of my pros, I am an ideas factory, but really struggle to actually complete on these ideas. I'll come up with a new solution to a problem I didn't even know existed the day before. I've wanted to be a writer, a nurse, a midwife, everything under the sun. And then the following week, not particularly interested in it whatsoever. But since my diagnosis and since using medication, I am in a completely different place where all of my ideas, my creative energy seems to come to fruition. I'm able to organise my thoughts, I'm able to finish projects, and there have been some amazing successes since diagnosis.
So you may be neurodivergent yourself. Each school has lots of different neurotypes, from your classmates to your teachers. So how can you be respectful to your peers? Firstly, listen when someone tells you how they want to be described. Secondly, make an effort to engage with someone who might feel isolated. And finally, celebrate people for who they really are. Remember, neurodiversity is the natural diversity of our brains. So please be kind, ask respectful questions, and use inclusive words.